Raufeon, obviously
Yeah.
I got to ask you first. How does it feel to be here? Obviously, you fought, you've traveled for fighting. This is a little different, right?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, it feels like this is where I'm supposed to be. I feel like everything happened for a reason. Through the ups and downs of my fighting career thus far, I feel like this is the beginning of something great, and I couldn't be more excited, couldn't be more happy to be here right now.
Well, your mood and your attitude seem perfect. I don't even want to mess with that. But I got to ask you, was there still, you come from a very experienced camp, you have very experienced coaches, good training partners. Was there any advice as far as the travel, the matchup that you really sought out for this one to make sure your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed?
Yeah, I think I've been groomed well as coming up just from being from a camp like Rufus Sport. So many champions, so many well-known fighters, experienced fighters. I've been groomed in a way that I was able to take a lot of bits and pieces from a lot of people, and I've been fortunate enough to for them to take interest in me and like give me, like Anthony, he'll give me tidbits of advice, like the intangible things that you don't really get, or you don't really know about unless you've been there. So him, Tyron Woodley, Paul Felder, all those guys, they give us a lot of advice, especially the guys coming up.
Speaking of intangibles, when you're breaking down these Hawaiian fighters, there are a lot of intangibles because you can make arguments that a lot of them are probably better than their records are. So it's kind of hard to get a beat. Now, I spoke to your opponent about the odds. You're a very big favorite. I'm sure that probably doesn't surprise you, but how's your attitude about that? Even when you are the favorite, do you still have to manage your attitude with those things, not get too high?
Definitely, especially fighting a dangerous fighter like Chaden, and a Hawaiian fighter, and that's where I feel like I've been groomed in the fact, even when I lost my fight, on paper I should beat a lot of people. On paper, a lot of people should beat a lot of people, but that means nothing. Especially fighting somebody scrappy, fighting somebody in their hometown. Emotions, all these, intangible things, so you always got to go out there with the mindset of you got to fight your best, you got to give it your all, because this game, that's why everybody loves the fight game. Things can change, everything doesn't happen like it's supposed to, that's why we have the fight.
You sound like you have a very healthy mindset. Sounds like you're dialed in. So rather ask too much in the future, let me just ask you about this weekend. How do you see it going down ultimately? How's your hand getting raised?
So my hand's getting raised by, I believe I'm gonna finish him in the second round. I'm gonna be open to any finish, because in the past I've kind of, tried to force things, and ended up, missing opportunities. So I'm gonna be there for the opportunities, and I'm gonna take them as I see fit. And I don't see it going out the second round.